Hello, good evening and welcome to Prime Business. I am Pius Kujubaka. Tax consultant Francis Timoboy's upbeat government's revenue target for the 2026 fiscal year is achievable if compliance and sustained education are enhanced. His comments follow several reforms in the country's tax structure outlined in the 2026 budget. Now, government is hoping to achieve a revenue target of 268.1 billion cedis for next year, marking an 18.3% increase from the 2025 figure. Now, speaking to Joy Business, Mr. Timoboy maintained that although the target is feasible, the GRA must step up efforts to enhance compliance.
268 billion, yes, I think it's achievable because we've seen year-on-year growth from the GRA side. I'm happy with the AI adoption to the customs operations because custom currently gives up about 34-35% of our total revenue. It started underperforming mid-year, and most of these things come from under valuation and then under invoicing. If we are using technology where we take away the human bit, I believe that we're going to have a fair valuation, and monies that before were lost to government because of human errors should be able to balance it. So the target is achievable, but like I said, we are banking our hopes on compliance, with sustained education. If that fails, then there could be some problems. But let's hope that this compliance that we are envisaging will come on board. For example, we want to implement the fiscal electronic device, something that we passed in 2018. We were unable to implement it. If we're able to implement that law, we can use digitalization to monitor the VAT performance. Because if we are unable to do that, then trust me, the reduction in the effective rates will lead to some loss of revenue to government.
All right.
But I'm hopeful that we're able to implement them.
New Prime Building Cost Index and inflation data shows construction costs drop again in September by 9.7%. This marks the 5th consecutive fall from May this year. More in this report.
Ghana's construction sector is seeing a steady easing of cost pressures, with new data from the Prime Building Cost Index showing continuing month-on-month declines in building prices and a sharp slowdown in annual inflation. At a briefing in Accra, government's decision, Dr. Alhassan Idrisu presented the latest figures, noting that the index offers a clearer and more detailed picture of how construction costs are changing across the country.
First, prime building inflation has dropped to 9.7%, marking the 5th straight month of decline. Second, month-on-month prices have been falling consistently for 4 months. Prime building costs reduced by 0.4% between August and September 2025. Materials and plant are driving the easing, while labor is stabilizing but adjusting more slowly. A small group of items, especially steel and both skilled and unskilled labor, account for almost all the inflationary pressures we are seeing. Price declines in reinforcement, in cement, and in other low groups are helping to moderate the overall index.
He also urged individuals and businesses to take advantage of the ongoing price reductions.
If you have a project that you have paused, this is probably the period of stabilizing costs, which may give room for you to restart that project. You can actually build in phases to manage your cash flow. And you can also take advantage of the falling material prices. And where possible, consider high-quality local alternatives to more expensive imported materials. Choosing local does two things. It reduces your costs and supports domestic industries. Contractors, developers, and construction firms have a strategic window here. Lock in prices now for materials and for equipment while costs are low.
Dr. Idrisu explained that the Prime Building Cost Index tracks how the overall cost of construction buildings changes over time, covering key inputs such as building materials, labor, and plant and equipment. The index draws on a basket of 406 items collected from 489 outlets across 16 markets nationwide.
Ghana's Business Outsourcing Services Association, known as BOSAG, has launched an ambitious 5-year plan to create 100,000 jobs in the business process outsourcing industry by 2030. Speaking in an interview at the launch, Chief Executive of BOSAG, David Govu, said the initiative aims to leverage Ghana's young, skilled workforce to attract global investors and promote decent, technology-driven employment opportunities.
Outsourcing Services Association of Ghana, launched just a year ago, is partnering with both local and international organizations to create decent technology-driven jobs for the youth. Chief Executive of BOSAG, David Gowu, says the association is advocating for policies that remove investment barriers and support sustainable growth in the outsourcing sector.
Currently, Ghana is lucky to have the top 2 international BPOs and also the oldest BPO company in Ghana. These companies have been employing a lot of our young people, giving them what we call decent job, But there are no industry associations that will help them kind of remove bottlenecks, red tapes, and also advocate for the industry. So after a lot of deliberation and support from our partners like GIZ, we then set up 2 years ago to set up this industry association and then begin to bring both local and international companies, development partners and government institutions together to see how to create an enabling environment for employment. And after a lot of deliberation, a lot of discussion, we have now put our documents together to have this ambitious plan of getting 100,000 young people into employment in the next 5 years.
Founding chairman of BOSAG, Kojo Afeji Hayford, who also heads E-Services Africa Limited, says the plan is achievable through strong government support and global partnerships. He believes Ghana's untapped human capital can transform the economy if properly harnessed.
Our plan is to create and deliver 100,000 BPO jobs, which is basically digital and digital enabling jobs. Between now and 2030. It's a task, it's a tall order, but it's achievable. This is basically predicated on the fact that there's a lot of young talent in Ghana that have capabilities to deliver services to global clients. We need the support of government, and when we say support of government, we don't need their money. We need them to be able to showcase Ghana as a true destination. If we're able to do that, some of the issues that happened yesterday where a lot of people looking for jobs died will not happen.
With growing international interest and government backing, BOSAG's agenda could position Ghana as a leading hub for business process outsourcing in Africa.
Chief of Staff Julius Deborah urged commercial banks to shift from traditional collateral-based lending and adopt modern credit scoring models to expand access to finance. Speaking at the inauguration of Republic Bank's new head office, known as the Republic Court, he noted that this is imperative to ensure growth of small businesses.
Republic Bank has reaffirmed its commitment to delivering enhanced banking and mortgage services as it officially opens its new head office, the Republic Court. The bank says the facility underscores its long-term dedication to Ghana's financial sector and its role in supporting economic development. At the ceremony, Chief of Staff Julius Deborah encouraged the bank and others in the sector to embrace credit scoring systems to improve access to finance for SMEs.
We recognize that SMEs are the largest employers in our economy. Our SME empowerment packages include business development services, access to markets, and a more streamlined regulatory environment. However, the perennial challenge remains access to affordable credit. And Dr. Juwoku, I ask and task you and your management to take a critical look at that area for us. I am excited to hear that Republic Bank has taken action by highlighting SMEs as a key pillar in your 5-year strategic plan. I wish to use this opportunity to urge you to move beyond traditional collateral-based lending, embrace credit scoring models that consider cash flow. Partner with us on targeting loan guarantee schemes for SMEs in priority sector.
Managing Director of the bank, Dr. Benjamin Joboku, said the bank will continue to prioritize customer needs to ensure the sustainability of its operations.
This edifice
will help us to do more for our people. Distinguished guests, this historic event under the banner of reimagined possibilities of Republic Verse, it is an avenue that will give us all our commitment to do more for the people of Ghana.
Chief Executive of the Ghana Association of Banks, John Ewa, urged Republic Bank to strengthen its services through the adoption of modern technology.
Invest in technology, invest in cybersecurity, because that is where the future of banking is going. Just yesterday, I was at an event, and I told the audience that if you are a bank and you are still thinking about credit committee meetings and a lot of these meetings, a committee, then you are not running a bank. You should be thinking about which technology will take us to approving that loan. And I'm sure that is where Dr. Joboku and Republic Bank Jeta was doing.
With a 187-year history, Republic Bank says it remains committed to contributing to the reduction of Ghana's housing deficit.
Still within the finance sector, Advans Ghana Savings and Loans has opened a new branch in Takoradi as part of efforts to expand access to reliable financial services and support the growth of small and medium-scale enterprises in the Western region. The new branch forms part of Advans Ghana's strategy to bring banking closer to business communities.
Takoradi branch adds to Advans Ghana's growing network of 21 branches across the country. Managing Director and Chief Executive Officer Guillaume Valence says the expansion reflects the company's long-term commitment to deepening financial inclusion and empowering traders, farmers, fishers, and service providers.
We opened 5 more branches, so we really want to intensify our expansion and outreach in Ghana in the next few months and years. For the people, the good people of Takoradi, it means a closer relationship. We have in Ghana 700 staff, and the reason why we are so numerous is because we need to be close to our clients, because our solutions are adaptable and adapted to our clients' needs. So we need to be close to them, to understand the needs, and to build a relationship. So for Takoradi people, it means more accessible means and support to grow their businesses.
Chief Sales and Distribution Officer Barbara O'Day says the institution's strength lies in its relationship-based approach that tailors service to meet individual clients' needs. She noted that Advans Ghana remains responsive and innovative in developing products that best serves its diverse customer base.
I think that one of the things that we strive in is that the fact that we make businesses grow. And once you make your business grow, your family will grow. You understand? Your family will grow. You'll be able to employ more people. Apart from that, we are an institution that really takes climate issues very serious. And if you follow us, you see that we do a lot of tree planting, we do training on climate and how to be able to resilient and to be able to manage.
With the opening of the Takoradi branch, Advans Ghana continues to strengthen its presence in Ghana's financial sector while contributing to the growth of small businesses and local economies.
Speakers at the 6th edition of the Africa Media Art Sales Innovation Summit have urged media practitioners and content creators to incorporate innovative media streams into their professional careers to stay relevant and competitive in the African market. The summit, which brought together industry leaders, experts, emphasized the importance of adapting to evolving technological challenges and embracing new media platforms to reach wider audiences. More in this report. Experts at the summit shared insights on the latest trends and innovations in media and arts, highlighting the need for media professionals to stay ahead of the curve and leverage digital tools to enhance their work. Speaking to Joy Business on the sidelines of the event, publisher reps at Atuna Digital, Chris Ogongo, expressed worry most media practitioners and content creators are not monetizing their platforms enough due to the lack of infrastructure.
Well, probably not, because there's a lot that goes into monetization. There's a lot of infrastructure that is required, which unfortunately we do not have, yet to a reasonable extent across the continent. So maybe at some point, over the years, we'll be able to get there, but we're probably not at the level where, we should be. But then there is hope.
According to the Chief Executive Officer of Maxwell Investments Group, Dr. Maxwell Ampong, by embracing innovative media streams, media practitioners and content creators can increase their competitiveness, expand their reach and contribute to the growth and development of the African media industry.
Create that content, make that move, because it's happening now. There are people posting how much they make from even ad sales. Ghanaians. Kojo Sheldon posts all the time. I know one Don Success who started very, very, very well. They are all posting exactly what they are doing. And they started from also nothing. They didn't just get born with the content created and given to them. They didn't just get born with the media platform open to them. So if you're in the media space, create that content, learn the tools, study the algorithm, do what you have to do, but you have to take a step. The small increments that make up the whole.
On his part, founder of Afrima's network, Raymond Smith, stated that despite the challenges with adopting new media platforms, opportunities still abound to enhance efficiency.
If you're a content creator, there's a lot of research that you can find available that gives you audience insight, so you know what kind of content you can create for your audience. Aside the audience, immediately your audience is addressed, you know how to monetize. Whether you are dealing with brands, which is something that we are championing, or you are dealing with platforms that are helping you to monetize. And that's why we partner with Antoine Digital, which is a monetization platform. So yes, there are challenges, there are infrastructure challenges and all that. But with the challenges that we can control is to understand what are we creating, who are we creating for. If that is answered, you are not in competition with anyone. I'm surprised a lot of content creators are not looking at kids, educational content. We have so many gossips in our market. There's so much content that has to be created.
The event provided a platform for networking, learning, and collaboration with attendees, encouraged to explore new opportunities and partnerships in the African media landscape. At a landmark event celebrating the advancement of research in Ghana, Chief Executive of the Academy Time Journal, Joshua Yeboah, has emphasized the importance of bridging academia and industry gap by giving student researchers a platform to showcase innovations that could be commercialized and drive national economic growth.
Academy Time Journal, led by Chief Executive Joshua Yeboah, is focused on igniting scholarly impact by providing researchers with a platform to showcase innovations that can directly benefit industries and drive national development. Speaking in an interview, he stated that through strategic partnerships with corporate institutions, the journal supports young innovators in commercializing their prototypes and creates new economic opportunities.
Once we ignite scholarly impact, then every research we publish, becomes impactful. Because if a student is to identify a problem in his or her community or nation and embark on scientifically rigorous research to address it, in the end, the student is contributing to the overall development of the country. Now, when it comes to the economic aspect, government, even though government is a bigger stakeholder, if we are giving the student the exposure to put their research out there, to connect them with industry players, to connect them with sponsors, to connect them with philanthropy, to support them. It means that student researchers who have come out with prototypes, i.e. products and services from their projects, with this exposure, with this sponsorship, they can commercialize it. In the end, it will create employment for others.
Assistant Editor-in-Chief Dr. Anita Adwoa-Opong added that the journal intends to break the cycle of research ending up on shelves by building stronger partnerships that allow scholars to exhibit their work.
The journal wants to start something where research is bringing impact. So research most often ends up on shelves, most often ends up in thesis, in published works that nobody even have access to. But at Academic Times Journal, we want to change that story where innovators, where researchers, ideas are put out there, giving the platform for them to exhibit their works. And once these ideas and innovations are made known, we believe that we'll have policies being made from research. We believe that innovations will be made from this research.
With a renewed commitment to linking research to real-world solutions, the Academy Time Journal is positioning itself as a key driver of innovation, economic growth, and human capital development in Ghana.
You're still watching Prime Business. German ambassador to Ghana has reiterated their commitment to support Ghana in building a climate-resilient infrastructure to support economic development. Speaking at the West African Clean Energy and Environment Trade Fair and Conference, the ambassador noted that finding critical solutions to challenges caused by climate change is necessary to support industrial expansion.
The 13th edition of the West African Clean Energy and Environment Trade Fair and Conference brought together regional and international stakeholders to advance dialogue and collaboration on climate action, renewable energy, and sustainable development. In his address, German Ambassador to Ghana, Frederick Lanshoff, reiterated Germany's commitment to working with Ghana on renewable energy extension and climate-resilient infrastructure.
Climate action is not only negotiated, it is implemented in factories, in solar fields, in recycling hubs, in training centers, and here at WAKI. Ghana and West Africa are at a pivotal moment. Urban growth, industrial expansion, and the accelerating impacts of climate change make resilient energy systems and sustainable resource management essential. At the same time, Ghana has a skilled and ambitious young population and a clear commitment to renewables and innovation. These are conditions that Germany recognizes actively and supports. Germany works with Ghana on renewable energy expansion, green hydrogen, climate-resilient infrastructure, and skills for green jobs.
Country representative of CAS Ghana office, Anna Wasafo, also said Germany through its foundation has been strengthening democracy, combating misinformation, and deepening civic engagement.
Sustainability and environmental issues. We are here today at the WASI conference, for example, because we are highlighting our work with our partner Catholic Education Unit on something that we call Plastic Awareness Competition, that is supposed to raise awareness with young people in schools about the problem of plastic, but also to see plastic as a sustainable or as a reusable resource. And the students came up with very great ideas of how to reuse plastic in a sustainable and economically viable fashion. And this is also the reason why we are here, to give them a chance to present their work.
Held under the theme Greener Solutions, Stronger Economy, the West African Clean Energy and Environment Trade Fair and Conference was organized by the delegation of German Industry and Commerce in Ghana and featured participation from European and African partners, private sector leaders, innovators, and policymakers.
And that's our package by way of Prime Business. I am Pius Kojobaka. You can log on to myjoyonline.com/business for all the business stories you need to know here in Ghana and beyond. Always a delight serving you. Prime Source is next.